take the lead on this drive.
Welcome back, guys, to CFL Central, CFL content for the fans, by the fans, and bit of an interesting week. So we had our first few games of the playoffs here. God damn it, I can't do it. Jake, where the hell have you been? Where the hell have you been?
I've been on quite an adventure, my friends, quite an adventure. I'm just going to say one thing. Escaping from a Siberian prison is not easy work, but I am not a pushover man. So here I am from the harsh tundras of Siberia. I survived the journey through, I don't know what countries are near Siberia. I don't even know. Okay, whatever. I don't even know because I didn't have a map, ladies and gentlemen. That's why. I just walked until I found a small cabin, and I watched some football,
he
actually.
Walked until he swam.
Believe it or not, I just walked until I actually saw a BC Lions flag at this random cabin in the woods, and I was like, okay, well, either this is a horror movie or it's a Lions fan. And it was a Lions fan, believe it or not. And then we watched some football together, and believe it or not, we also watched an Alouettes Ticats game. So I'm back. Let's talk about it.
So, Alouettes win. You've been high on them all season. For those who have not, who have only started watching more recently, who did not get to, were not graced with Jake's fantastic beard and mustache that he.
I didn't have this
for
yet.
November.
November, bro. I grew this in like a week because I felt like it.
Oh, there you go. Exactly. Wow. Not because you're a good person.
Nah.
Anyway.
Fuck cancer.
But,
there we go.
well, I mean, yeah.
Exactly. I didn't say anything bad, huh?
Exactly,
Made you think there.
Exactly. There you go. But the yeah, you've been high on the Alouettes all season. You know, you've been riding that Alouettes train, and it seems like it's paying off.
Well, yeah, it's paid off. Alouettes are going to the Eastern Final to play the Toronto Argonauts, man, and I am, for one, so happy that I actually they proved me right this year. Like, I don't give a shit if they win or not, because it's the East and it's a shit show, right? Like, we have no idea what's going to happen any time. But you know what? That being said, I'm just happy to see Montreal actually getting some success when it matters. They got screwed over out of so many games in the first 5 weeks of the season.
It's been a while.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
And they've had attendance problems too. Like, it's just been a rough year for Montreal and a rough couple seasons, honestly. And I'm just happy to see them
injured right at the start of the season.
I'm just happy to see them coming back to this mountain and having a chance to play in a finals game. That actually means something, you know? Like, I don't feel like they had no expectations this year, and they had the best year they could with no expectations. But yeah, credit to the Alouettes. And
absolutely, though. I mean, we're talking about a team. The Alouettes have not had a playoff victory since 2014. 8 years since then. So it's been quite the struggle for the Alouettes come time for the postseason. So it was really essential that Montreal broke that streak. Hamilton obviously was looking to break their Grey Cup drought streak. That didn't happen.
Fuck them.
And Montreal had a little bit of an uphill battle when it comes to, and now this is kind of a meaningless stat simply because it's a completely different team. But if we're talking about Hamilton versus Montreal all-time in the playoffs, the Ticats are 18-9 with the last 4 straight being Ticat victories. So also good for the Alouettes to snap that. And this whole game, like, I mean, the Ticats, the defense was not where I would expect the Ticats, but it was really the offensive struggles for the Ticats not being able to get that going, as it really seemed like Tim White was kind of the lone man on offense. You know, Matthew Schultz comes in and he did pretty solid. They were able to rule with that. There are some questions on if he should have played the whole game. We'll have more of that for the Lions Stampeders game, because that's even more of a question if we're getting to, you know, should you have switched quarterbacks earlier? Calgary! But, you know, so it's one of those things where Trevor Harris has been able to keep up his consistency. I've been really impressed with his consistency, as that's something we didn't see last year with him in Edmonton, which is why Taylor Cornelius was given the reins by the Elks. So, yeah, I mean, this was congrats to Montreal, and it'll be curious to see Toronto versus Montreal. again.
No, for sure. And, you know, like, I think some standout performances for sure, you know, on the receiving end of things. Eugene Lewis was really, really good. Eight attempts, 7 recorded touches, average carry of 14 yards on the receiving there. He was really, really everywhere he needed to be in that game. And honestly, credit to the entire receiving core.
Consistency in Montreal.
Yeah, no, the entire receiving core in that game played great. Walter Fletcher on the rushing as well, 7 carries, 77 yards, 11 yards in average. You know, I think he did really well. Trevor Harris, like you said, Carter, you know, 79.4% on the day for completion percentage, 243 yards, 1 for 1 on the touchdown interception radar. This game to me was a game that Montreal has played all season long, but you know, maybe early on or at some points might have choked it away or had some bad luck, just, you know, finished them down the line. But this game just really from the start was their dominance. And like you said, it could have been different.
And that's what you need.
It could have been different if the Ticats got more going in the first 2 quarters. Obviously, putting up a field goal in each of the first 2 quarters to start that game by halftime is not ideal. But, you know, I think Montreal really, really played well here, and I'm just going to go out and say it. I think that if Montreal can play a game like this without making mistakes that cost them wins in the regular season against Toronto in the finals, I would not be surprised. I'm thinking Alouettes are the favorite, in my opinion, to win that game. I think that they're a better team. I think that when it comes down to it, they play as a better football team with less talent compared to some of the other matchups they might go up against, and I think that this was a prime example of that, where every player that needed to play well, you know, a good solid game, get you over the hump, did that. Like, everyone did their jobs to the description. No one didn't, and that's what gets you a 28-17 win in that semifinals in the East. But really like the way the Alouettes played in this one, and just gotta get shout out to the Alouettes for just proving me right, because I fucking believed in you guys, and I do not like Montreal teams usually. So
yeah.
You know what? You're welcome. All right, I'm the reason why I had success.
And I completely get where you're going when you're talking about the Alouettes going to be going next week against Toronto. We'll get more into that.
Absolutely. I don't want to say anything more about that until we get there.
But I'm just going to relate this to this game, because I do want to make sure we wrap up this game nice and tight, because we are not going to be hearing about the Ticats until after the Grey Cup, obviously, because there's not going to be anything to talk about, because it's CFL playoffs, only the playoffs, and that's what we're focused on. But Montreal getting a really, really early lead on Hamilton is really, really key here. And I see that as something that will be really key against a Toronto team, especially with them having a bye week off.
Normally, for sure.
That means that when a bye week happens, normally that team comes out a little bit slower at the start. So I think Montreal's got to really capitalize on what made their success. What gave them success this week can absolutely give them success next.
No, facts. I completely agree, and I'm really excited to see the East Final this year. Last year's East Final was pretty entertaining between Toronto and Hamilton. So really excited to see this year with another team in there trying to shake it up a little bit. Love to see Toronto choke it 2 years in a row, but we shall see what happens as always. But yeah, really impressed with the Alouettes in this game. Great team win, and nice to see them finally put it together.
We're not going to get Bombers Ticats 3 years in a row. It's going to be a little different this year.
Thank God. Thank God. Right. But yeah, so let us know what your thoughts were on this game, what your favorite play was, and what your favorite moment from the season for both of these teams in this game respectively was. We'd love to hear that down in the comment section below as always. Thank you so much for watching this video. We hope you enjoyed it from both me and Carter as always. And also, I got to give a huge shout out. Carter is without a doubt been a gem keeping this channel going the way it has been with the effort and the content that he's been putting out. So I tip my hat, and I'm gonna do a little clap for you, my friend, because you saved this channel when I needed you to step up, because my life has been a fucking like I said, escaping from Siberia, ladies and gentlemen. It's a tough feat.
And I think we should all I want to see some applause in the comment section for Jake making it out of Siberia. All right. Congratulations.
It was nothing.
True life achievement right there.
It was nothing.
Amazing race. You have your next contestant.
Amazing race? Nah, yeah. Man. Fuck that.
Oh.
The Great Escape. That's what I want to go on.
You don't have your next contestant.
Nah, put me on a loan. I'll just survive in the woods like I did in Siberia. I'll eat dogs
Survivor,
again.
Maybe?
Nah, Survivor's fake, man. I don't want to go on some island with a bunch of mediocre white women. Ooh, no, I'm just joking. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for watching this video. Have a great rest of your day, and see you guys in the next one.